Hey there folks, John here from Biddy Kong's Quest, and today we're going to look at another homebrew that I've had sitting around my office for a little while. Life gets in the way and I don't always get to make videos on games exactly right when they come out, so I've had this one sitting for a little bit, but man, it is one of the most impressive NES games that I think I have ever seen. It's huge, it's got a great sense of style, it's got atmosphere, and it's really just got kind of the full package, and way more than you would expect for an NES game. And that game is called Full Quiet, and it's made by Retrotainment Games. This one is definitely worth taking a look at. It's kind of like a survival horror Metroidvania. I don't know, there's very few games on the NES, or really 8-bit games in general, that I've seen that have given the sense of dread and just kind of this horror, creepy feeling that this game has. It's one of those things where it really surprised me when it first came out. I wasn't expecting what I got. The soundtrack is really good. The music is not your traditional music. It's a lot more atmospheric, but it really sets the mood really, really well. And I just think it's an absolutely fantastic game top to bottom. Also, I believe it was advertised that it takes 20 hours to beat. I haven't actually beaten this one yet. I've only gotten a few hours into it, and I've been really enjoying it. So we're going to take a look at the game itself, and then we're also going to unbox this thing, because this one's a little bit different on the inside than most other NES homebrews I've gotten, and it's pretty cool. So here we go. So Full Quiet is an NES game, a Metroidvania, and it's really kind of unlike anything else I've ever experienced on the system before. You start the game as a hunter who wakes up one morning to find his son has been kidnapped, and these weird footprints are all over the floor. So he goes out into the forest, which is near his house, to look for his son, and finds all of these weird, strange creatures. It's very much like some sort of sci-fi alien kind of stuff going on, maybe some other dimension type of thing. There's a lot of really cool, just kind of sci-fi horror elements in this thing. And you're kind of dropped into this forest area looking for your son, and the only thing you really have to go on is these radio transmissions from this group of people that kept whatever this mysterious thing is, this mysterious invading force under control with their radio broadcasts. You don't really know much more than that going into it, other than the fact that your son spent a little time with these guys before he actually disappeared. So there's this really interesting story going into it, and they kind of just drop you in. It's got a very open world feel, which is kind of a weird thing to say for an NES game, especially a platformer like this, but I mean, the map is absolutely massive. There is a ton of stuff that you can explore, a ton of stuff that you can find. And they did a really good job of just making it feel like this living, breathing world, because there's actually a day and night cycle. Because of that, it gives you this really cool sense of everything is dire, and you could die at any minute because these creatures could come and find you. So it's really, really impressive what they were able to do with this game. And I highly recommend you check it out. Graphically, it's really impressive. I think that there's a lot of detail in the backgrounds and the environments and things like that. The character sprites are not the best I've seen, but that's okay, because I don't know that they have to be for this kind of thing. Again, it's more about the gameplay and the feel you're getting. The music, it's more about the atmospheric effects, the birds tweeting, and this kind of just this silent forest. And it kind of just feels like it's almost oppressive, the sound effects in it. So that's also really cool, and it really kind of contributes to the vibe that you're getting of just this place that is actively hostile to you as a character. And I think it's really, really cool. Now, supposedly, it takes about 20 hours to beat this one, which is why I haven't really had the time to put into it to beat it all the way yet. But even playing just a few hours in, as I have, I've been really, really impressed with it. It's just been a really cool, really immersive experience, and I think it's something that everybody should check out. So if you haven't checked out Full Quiet, it is actually available on the Switch. You can actually buy it on the eShop for $9.99, and I'm sure it goes on sale at some point. Right now it's not, as of the publishing of this video, but it's definitely worth every bit of that $9.99. And then also, if you want, you can actually still get the physical NES copy, and this will actually play in an NES. You can get it from Retrotainment's website. A lot of times I go over physical editions on this channel, and they're already unavailable, or they were a limited release, or it was from a Kickstarter, or something like that, and there's not really any way to get them. As of the publishing of this video, you can still get this over on Retrotainment's website. And in case you're interested in that, I wanted to go ahead and unbox this in the video so you guys can see what's inside, because this is the standard version of the game. There's also a collector's edition. I believe this one was $60. The collector's edition, I think, is $80 and has a different color cartridge. It's a limited print run, all that kind of stuff. However, honestly, this is one of the few instances where I think I actually prefer the standard edition of the game, and it's because of a specific thing that the cartridge itself does. So we're going to go over the workbench, we're going to check that out, and we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, so this is the boxed copy of Full Quiet. Like I said, this is the standard version of the cartridge. Obviously, it's got the box with it. You can see the back here. See if I can tilt it so you guys can see it without my my light glaring everywhere. So let's do this kind of thing. Let's see. So you can see from the back. At dawn's first light, crisp air and pancakes, a morning like any other. As you enter your son's room, you find it ransacked. The window wide open, he is gone. Strange footprints litter the floor. Who or what could have taken him? So this is basically a quest to rescue your son from these mysterious creatures that, again, are kind of haunting this forest. And it's kind of creepy, even from the very beginning. And, you know, you can even see it's got these kind of like drawings on the cover here that almost look like kind of like it's the whole forest like kind of drawn, but kind of like on a map, like out of like energy or like radio waves or something like that, which is really, really cool. I'm going to zoom back out just a little bit here, and we're going to go ahead and open it and see what's inside. And you can see I'm using tweezers here. What I'm trying to do is avoid getting that nasty crease you get sometimes. So you can kind of stick the tweezers in here and kind of grab that front flap and pull up on one side of it like that. And then you kind of do the same thing with the other side. And this will keep you from getting that like creasy fold thing in there. If I remember right, the last time I opened this, I actually had a little bit of trouble with it. So it may have a little bit of that crease in there already. If it does, yeah, you can see it right there. Looks like I had a little trouble opening it before because this tab was a little bit more recessed than I kind of wanted it to be. Kind of get it out of that corner. There we go. Got it. So there we go. Now we got it open. You can see we got a little bit of that crease right there, but it's not too awful bad. Some ones you can actually get pretty much completely clean. I've gotten some of my homebrews completely clean that way. Obviously, I'm somebody that takes things and plays them. I mean, you can see my Game Boy cartridge right there. It's there so that it doesn't glare too badly from my light. I'm somebody that takes and plays their cartridges, so my boxes tend to get a little bit more wear than I guess maybe some collectors do. But here is the cartridge, and as you can see, oops, it's this really cool color, green. We're going to come back to that in just a second, but right now we're just going to lay that right there and just let it kind of sit. There you go. And then we also have the dust protector. I'm always a fan when homebrews come with a dust protector. Obviously nothing fancy, it's just black. But I always love it when homebrews come with dust protectors. Honestly, it's rarer than you'd think. And then lastly, we've got the manual. And man, I love this manual. It's just stinking cool. It doesn't say the name of the game anywhere on the front. It's just got the Morse code here in the back because it's all about the radio signals. and then it's got this this weird like arrow drawing that you see kind of all throughout the game. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more here so you can see it a little better. So this is kind of what it looks like. This is the manual. So you've got this little arrow symbol. You've got the Morse code in the back, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so that's it. So if you open it up, you can see there's actually a little bit of a goodie here. You've got this little map of the cliffs. Oh, you can see it right there. I'm going to go and leave that zoomed in so you guys can see it a little better. But you have this little map of the cliffs, and this is kind of just tucked inside the manual. And what this feels like, it feels like some kind of like journal or something that you would find or that you would use in the game, which is really, really cool, because part of the game is finding these things, these journals that are left behind, these field guide kind of things that are left behind by the people that were fighting this threat before you. And so the manual kind of looks like that, which is really, really sick. So you can see all the different weapons that you can get. These are all the different guys from that did the ham radio stuff that have all disappeared. I believe this one, yeah. So these are all of the different guys. It's very kind of Metal Gear Solid-y. You see their picture, and that's kind of it. And then you read their text, but it's really cool. And I'm not going to go through every page of this manual, but you can see it's got this kind of hand-drawn, it was kind of just drawn in a notepad kind of feel to it, which is just super duper cool. There's just some different items there, some different parts of enemies, equipment that you can get. As you can see, there's quite a bit of stuff in this game to get. Like, it's a big game. There's a lot to this thing. There's different equipment you can get, different radars and things. Here's another map. This is kind of the blown up version of what you saw on the cover. So like right here, you can see you've got kind of a portion of this map. It's kind of that middle part there. You can see where the radio tower is and the mountain. But this is kind of the full-size version of that, which is pretty cool. Here's that symbol. And then you've got the bugs and the creatures and the things that are going to pop up, and they're going to try to get you. Obviously, lots of different kind of alien type of things going on with the glowing eyes and the all that stuff, which is pretty cool. You've got more of the creatures. You've got some bosses here. And then obviously you've got the credits. And then this is actually one of the coolest parts of the manual, I think. It's actually got a Morse code chart. Which is important because Morse code plays a huge role in this game in figuring out puzzles and things that you have to do. So they actually include a Morse code key in the back, which I just think is super awesome. Otherwise, you'd be looking it up, because I don't know many people that actually have Morse code memorized. So that's really, really cool. And there's puzzles in the game that have to use Morse code in order to be figured out, which is pretty awesome. And then you just have a code log, so that you can write down different notes that you may need as you play through the game, just like an old manual would have, which is pretty sick. So, like I said, this is just a manual, but it's a really, really cool manual. So there we go, Morse code. I believe it actually says full quiet on there. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what that says. If I had taken the time to actually translate it, I would know. But that's not the last thing here. One of the coolest things about it is this cartridge is supposedly glow in the dark. Now, if I turn off my light here, I actually am not going to see it glow. I'm assuming that's because it has to absorb daylight or has to absorb more light first. That, or they're just calling this color of cartridge glow in the dark. But either way, I think that this cartridge honestly looks way cooler than like the silver cartridge that's in the special edition. I just kind of like this green. It kind of gives that alien kind of vibe to it, and it's just really, really sick. So I actually really like this cartridge color better than the one that's in the more expensive version. But again, that's just me. And I was hoping to be able to show you guys it actually glowing, but I was testing it right before I recorded this, and I think it may need to absorb more light if it is actually glow-in-the-dark material. Or maybe, again, they're just calling it glow-in-the-dark because it's this weird, like, kind of luminescent kind of green color, which is, again, either way, very, very cool. and I'm really happy to have it. So that is Full Quiet. Let me go ahead and just arrange this stuff so you guys can kind of see all of it. So this is Full Quiet. That's what it looks like. You got the color cartridge here, the glow-in-the-dark cartridge. You've got the manual. You've got the box. And it's honestly a really sick-looking physical edition. So I am really happy I picked this one up. But with that said, let's go on back to the chair and let's wrap this thing up. Okay, so that was Full Quiet. And I gotta say, this game is absolutely worth checking out. So if you're interested, you can, again, get it on the Switch, you can get it on the Xbox, you can get it on the PS5. I believe it's available on Steam as well. Or you can also, again, go over to Retrotainment Games website and pick up the actual physical NES edition, the one that I'm holding right here, for just 60 bucks. And I gotta say, of all the homebrews on the NES that I've tried, and I've tried quite a few of them, this is one of the most impressive that I have ever seen. It's got the most playtime of any that I've probably tried in a long time. It's really impressive in terms of story and atmosphere and what it's able to communicate. I just really, really like this game, and I think you will too. So that's about it for this video. I just wanted to make sure that I shared this one because, again, it's been sitting on my shelf for way too long. I've been wanting to make a video about it, just haven't had the time, so I wanted to share it with all of you guys. So that'll about do it for this video. So like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff, and I'll see you guys next time.